All right, so now that it's done and built, I want to run through in a little bit more detail my 2024 bow setup. So this is a Hoyt Alpha X30 in tombstone riser, black limbs. Kind of break it up, be a little bit different. This bow is 80 pounds. It is actually pulling 84 and a half. I'm running a 29.25-inch draw length. Kind of brings me to the HBX cams. So these HBX exact cams are amazing. If you've shot one of these new Hoyts, you know exactly what I'm talking about. The draw cycle on these bows is second to none. It is the smoothest drawing bow that I've ever pulled back. I've shot PSE, Bowtech, Matthews, and now this Hoyt, and this is by far my favorite shooting bow that I've had. It's hard to beat that draw cycle. So on these HBX exact cams, what I really love, there's a couple things. The 1/4-inch draw length adjustments, so you don't have to fight with either whole or 1/2-inch adjustments. If you're, say you're 29 or 29 and a half, you don't have to settle. You can get really precise with them. So you've got 3 let off options: 75, 80, and 85% let off. I'm currently running 80% let off on this, and it is still just so smooth. It feels so good in the back wall. You can really customize the feel and get it how you want it. And that's one of the biggest things for the repeatability and the consistency, is how adjustable you can make it to each shooter. Some of the accessories that I've got on it, I'm running the Hoyt Carbon Pro bars. I've got the 10-inch up front, 8-inch off the back, with the Hoyt sidebar mount. I'm running the 2.0 Go sticks. I absolutely love these. I had the original Go sticks on my Ventum Pro that I had, but I really like these. They don't ever have to come off the bow. You can move them up out of the way. I'm actually switching up my rests this year. I've been shooting the Hamskea Epsilon, that limb driven, on my Ventum Pro that I had before this. Switched it up to the Integrate MX2, the Q80 Ultra Rest, and I really just love the full containment, being able to get it engaged, ready to go, sitting in a tree. So just less to go wrong, in my opinion. If you're walking through the woods and catch that cable for a limb driven on a twig or barbed wire fence, in the rare case that might happen, you know, it's just, there's more space for it to go wrong. I really like this through cable hole that Hoyt has integrated into their riser. Just a little thing, make sure that it's in the right spot, keeps it out of the way, and ready to go for you. Now, my sight for this year is the UltraView slider. I absolutely love this sight. I do not have a single con about it. I've run it for about 6 months now. Absolutely love everything about it. It's well constructed, very tight tolerances, fully adjustable, fully customizable. Everything from every knob just works flawlessly. I've heard some mixed reviews on the sliders. Personally, I have not had a single bad experience with it so far. And it's been worth every penny to me. To each their own. If you've had a bad experience with your slider, you know, I can't speak to that. All I know is that this has been phenomenal for me so far. So I really like having a 3-pin slider set in 20, 30, 40, specifically for hunting season. You know, I shoot tack a little bit, shooting 3D here in town. It's fun to have a slider, just use that top pin, but having 20, 30, 40 set so that you don't have to move anything, you know, when you're in a tree stand, that's huge to me. So as it's set up right now, I'm at 20, 30, 40 and 66 yards with this bottom pin that the UltraView housing has. So my 4 pins, like I said, 20, 30, 40, 66, but you can adjust that. That's one thing that I really love about the adjustability and customizability of this sight. You know, if you wanted 20, 40, 60, you could absolutely do that. Just kind of all depends on what the shooter wants, and that's big for me. So I really love this bow. It's so much fun to shoot. It's so smooth, and just really have enjoyed it so far. So looking forward to taking it into the woods with me this year. My arrow setup that I'm actually running, this is a RIP TKO from Victory in a 250 spine. Running 100 grain broadheads, 50 grain outsert, with 20 grains inside behind this, the insert part of this outsert. So 170 grains up front. Total arrow weight on these is 462 grains with the lighted nock, the wrap, and the 3 Fletch AAE max stealth. So I really love this. Came in at like right at 14.8% FOC, and that's been kind of a sweet spot for me. These fly super well, and this bow loves it. My shop here in town has a chrono, has a Garmin Zero, so we were tinkering once we got it all set up and everything. Shooting 302 feet per second. IBO on these is 344. We're right at 302, being that I bumped it to 84.5 pounds, and I'm only pulling 3/4 of an inch shorter than IBO. So I really, really love this setup. Honestly, there's not a thing that I would change about it. We did throw gas bowstrings on this. I have had phenomenal results with gas bowstrings. Gain a little bit of speed with them in my experience, and really they're so durable. I think the last set that I had lasted me right at about 3 years, and I put some arrows through these bows. So that's my setup. We're gonna shoot a little bit. I love how quiet this thing is. I love how it shoots. It's just a shooter, you know. It makes me look good. Very forgiving. You know, sometimes these 30-inch, the shorter axle-to-axle bows give you a little bit of headache, but this one super forgiving. So I don't think I'm forgetting anything that I'm running this year, but just kind of a rundown of what I'm running, why I'm running it. And if you have ever sighted in one of these sliding sights, it's just like any of the other ones. You find your 20, find your 60, whatever number your 60 lines up with is your sight tape. So the sight tape actually that I landed on is a speed tape from UltraView. If you have a slider, this is sight tape -1. So it's screaming. I can get vane clearance to 146 yards. Now, just because I can doesn't mean that I'm going to. Have I shot that far with this? No, I haven't shot past 111 with this. And no, that does not mean that I'm going to shoot a deer at 90 yards just because the bow is capable of it. You know, I limit myself on that, and that's just not going to happen. So just because it can doesn't mean I'm going to push it to that limit. So I'm going to shoot it a little bit. Just send some arrows down range. I haven't practiced today, so we're gonna get my shots in for the day. So hope you like this little rundown. Hopefully I'm gonna be posting a lot more content coming up through this season. Something that I've told myself that I'm gonna do, and I'm really just gonna commit to it this year. So I figure that's the only way to actually do it, is just make myself commit and do it. I honestly have a blast with it, so I figured why not? We're just gonna put it out there. I don't expect any traction with it. More so just to have fun with hunting. So, all right, so I've got that target down there at 38 yards. Just gonna dial this up. Oh, I did want to touch on the broadheads that I'm shooting this year. So I am shooting the Beast broadheads. I've got 2 of the practice heads in this right here with me. So I've got 4 field points, 2 practice heads. We're gonna send it down there, get a group. I really like those so far. I'm really impressed with them. I've shot Sever for the last couple of years, and have really enjoyed the technology of the blades being able to move independently. So I really like that. But we're gonna send some at 38. Pretty good. This is kind of my daily. I limit myself to about 6 arrows a day in season, just to kind of get that pressure. You know, you're not gonna be able to have a dozen or 2 dozen arrows when you're out hunting. So like I said, 302 feet a second is screaming. So that's something that I really liked. I wanted to shoot as fast and as flat as I could, just to kind of give myself a little margin of error in the woods. You know, if I've got a deer that, you know, moves a couple yards on me or something, I don't really have to adjust. we're smacking nocks at 40. So, so I'm feeling really good about this bow. I absolutely love it. All right, I'm picking a different dot. I am not trying to keep ruining arrows. So I've got 4 down there. These are the 2 practice heads from Beast. I've got 4 in the center. I'm gonna go 1 in the top dot and 1 in the bottom dot. So 40 yards smacking arrows, it makes me feel good going into season. All right, top dot. Love it. I absolutely love this bow. There is not a single thing that I have a problem with about this bow. And you know, that's another big thing too, is having confidence in your equipment. I know that if I make a bad shot with this, it's me. You know, we made sure to paper tune this, bear shaft tune it, I've knock tuned it. I have super tuned this bow to the best of my ability. And so that way, you know, I'm a little OCD about it, sure, but I want to know that if I make a bad shot downrange, that it's me. It's not anything with my equipment. But again, that just goes back to the adjustability of this. If you need a 1/4 inch, you can play a 1/4 inch long or short with your draw length. If you want to play around with your holding weight in your back wall, you know, you can do that. So absolutely love this bow. This altogether has been my favorite rig that I have ever run. Oh, I will have a Tacticam on my front mount. I've tuned it with and without. It didn't make a difference, so I shoot with it off until I'm ready to go into the woods, and then that'll go on with me. So we're gonna call it a day. Like I said, I limit myself to about 6 arrows. Those 6 felt really good, and I'm happy with that down there. So 6 at 40 yards. That's all I'm gonna shoot. I hope you liked it. Just kind of running through what I'm running this year. And for all those that have your seasons that are open, good luck. Hope you have the best year yet. Like I said, we're gonna keep coming with some videos here. The next one will probably be a little farm setup, trail camera work, getting some stuff ready for the rut. So we had a pretty cool front come through in Missouri here. So dropped about 20 degrees from the weekend to this week. So we'll probably get out, hunt a little bit, shoot a doe or 2, hopefully. It's just that time of year. Glad that deer season's back, and we'll catch you later.